Hello learners, welcome to NMS studio. So today we are going to discuss about the first lesson of our senior secondary course, that is Krishi production processing and marketing. So our topic of discussion today is the evolution and development of agriculture. So coming to the objective of this today's lesson, after completion of this lesson you will know about the how agriculture was gradually developed from ancient times to the modern era. It will also able to help you to explain the reason for the backwardness of Indian agriculture during the British period. Also you will also learn about the role of Green Revolution in alleviating the hunger from India, and also you will also able to distinguish the achievement of India after independence in agriculture sector. So we all know that the agriculture not only contributes significantly to our GDP but also ensures our food as well as nutritional security. So what do we mean by the nutritional security and food? Regarding the food, we know that whatever we take it as a food material inside our body, that is called as a food. However, all of the foods are not actually good in nutrition. They may have some nutrition, but others may be lacking. So as we all know that nutrition is very much important for our health as well as longevity. So nutritional security is also important part of agriculture. Coming to the today's topic, that how and when our agriculture was developed. Actually there is no known record that when our agriculture was evolved or when they was originated, and it is believed that this our agriculture was originated thousands of years ago, and since then it has served as a catalyst for evolutionary change in human as well as other domestic animal. So in this way, or we can say that through the practice of agriculture, the human can transform into a settled way of life, and we can say that this is a way of settlement from where they have shifted from nomadic hunter gatherer life to a settled way of life, or we can say to their permanent settlement. Coming to the forms of agriculture, in thousands of years ago there are various forms of ancient agriculture. There are like Sumerian agriculture that was actually present in Iraq. There was also the Aztec and Maya agriculture that was developed in present day North America. That was also part of we can say that is Mesoamerica. And also there was Roman agriculture that was developed at present day of Rome, and also we can say that Chinese agriculture, and the most famous our Indian agriculture. Coming to the origin of the word agriculture, it has come from two Latin words. The Latin words are, first one is ager, that is meaning the field, and another one is cultura, that is meaning to cultivate. So when we combine these two words, we can say that agriculture is cultivation of field. So in what way we can define agriculture? So agriculture can be defined as it is an art as well as science of cultivating the soil, producing crop, raising livestock, as well as the preparation and marketing of agricultural products. Let's discuss about some important events in the origin and evolution of agriculture. We all know that around 12,000 years ago there was a documentary evidence that the agriculture was first started or first emerged. It has been believed that around 21,000 BC or before Christ, the Ohlone people were the oldest known inhabitant, those who have practiced the small scale cultivation of edible grasses. Coming to the next important event, that was at Levant. Actually, Levant was a region nearing the near the Mediterranean region. It was a home to a 8 Neolithic founder crop that was domesticated around 9500 BC. Coming to the next important event, that was the various types of crop like emmer wheat, einkorn wheat or hulled barley, peas, lentil, bitter veg, chickpea and flax as well as wheat, all are grown as well as they are harvested. Coming to the 8000 BC, around the banks of river Nile, the farming was first established. And coming to the region of eastern region, that was in China, here actually the rice replaced the wheat as a main crop of cultivation. Coming to the other event, at around 5700 before Christ, there was the cultivation of first rice in the China. After that, in around 8000 to 6000 BC, the millet was first domesticated by early Sino-Tibetan speakers. After that, around 5500 BC, the millet became the main crop for the Yellow River basin in China. Afterwards, there was the domestication of moong, soybean as well as azuki bean. Coming to the around 3500 to 2000 BC, the rice cultivation was extended to the other parts of Southeast Asia. In this respect, the other important events were around 6700 BC, there was a wild grass teosinte that was domesticated in the maize. Coming to the New World, that is around the region of North America, Central America as well as South America, there was domestication of plants like potato, tomato, pepper, squash as well as several varieties of bean at around 8000 before the Christ. Coming to the animal domestication, at around 11,000 years ago, sheep and pig were the first domesticated animals in Mesopotamia. Coming to 8500 BC, at Turkey and India, cattle was first domesticated. However, with regard to camel, it was domesticated long time after, that was around, that is 3000 BC. Let's look at this map. Here in this map you can see the various earlier civilization of the world. We can see here that there was a earlier civilization in China as well as in India, that is we call the Harappa Mohenjo-daro civilization. After that, there was a civilization at around Iraq, that was called the Mesopotamian civilization. Also there was another civilization at Nile River and also the Central American part. So we can say that these were the region where the first agriculture was flourished and they were developed subsequently, and from this area the agriculture was spread to other part of the world. Coming to the Bronze Age, that was 3300 BC, here actually the intensification of agriculture was happened in ancient civilization like Mesopotamian, Sumer, Egypt, Indus Valley civilization, also the ancient China and the Greece. Coming to the Iron Age, here the ancient Rome was flourished in the agriculture, that was found in the that was found at ancient Mediterranean as well as Western Europe zone. Coming to the Rome, the manurial system, or we can say the use of manure, that was most widespread during the medieval period. It helped the Rome to establish its classical era of antiquity. Coming to the first type of agricultural revolution that we call, that is the Neolithic revolution. So actually this term was coined by V. Gordon Childe in the year 1936. Actually it is the first period when agricultural development actually happened. This Neolithic revolution was first started at the Fertile Crescent near the east. This Fertile Crescent actually region that is around modern day Turkey, Iran and Iraq. In this period, here the hunter and gatherer way of life was changed into a farming way of life as well as permanent settlement. And through this Neolithic revolution, there was a improved way of living of the people, and as a result there was the emergence of cities as well as civilization. Coming to the population, as we have knew that in the Neolithic revolution period there was an increase in agricultural production. As a result there was an increase in population of human, and after that the demand for the food was also increased. So dear learner, let's take a break. After that we will also know about what are the other aspects of Neolithic revolution.
प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो, धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर। शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बहुत। कोई मन चाहा चुने हम अपना जीवन स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा चुने
Welcome back, dear learners. So we were discussing about the Neolithic revolution. So we have known that how the Neolithic revolution helped the people to improve their way of living. So let's discuss about other dimension of Neolithic revolution. From this image you can see that there was the important developments. There are few important developments during the period of Neolithic revolution. The first important development was the development of, or we can say the creation of permanent residence as well as cities. After that there was the invention of food preservation technique. Afterwards there was the way of making pottery. Thereafter there was the domestication of plant as well as animal, and also there was the labor specialization, complex social structure, also the development of craft as well as trade and barter system. Actually these all dimensions helped the Neolithic agricultural period to flourish. Coming to the reason to start the farming. So let's know about what are the reason for which the actually humans started to practice farming. One of the hypothesis was there was a climatic shift at the end of last ice age in the Near East. We all know that during the ice age period all of the earth was covered with the ice, and as the ice has very low temperature, the plants, or we can say the most of the animals, cannot survive at this low temperature. So when this ice age was over, there was we can say there was a beneficial period for the annual wild grains, and these annual wild grains grow in the Near East region, and through which the actually human started to practice farming. And also there was another hypothesis was that the due to excessive use of natural food resources like animal and plant, there was increased pressure in our natural resources. So as a result the humans were compelled to shift to farming for their own food. Coming to the domestication of plants and animal, we have understood that the domestication was an important event in Neolithic revolution period. So there was domestication of two type. One was the plant domestication, another one is the animal domestication. So let's first understand about what we mean by domestication. So through domestication we mean to say that is the keeping plants or animals under the human control. So there was the few plants that was first domesticated, that was wheat, barley as well as pea, and also there was the cattle, goat, sheep and pig. They were the first animals to be domesticated. Coming to the wheat, barley and pea, They are the crops whose wild ancestors were found throughout the Near East region. Coming to the rice and millet farming, both have their roots in China's Neolithic era, and we all knew the earliest known rice fields was found in the eastern China. So in this way the plants were domesticated in the various parts of the world. Coming to the next step, that is the animal domestication, there was the many behavioral features between wild species and the current domesticated population have evolved, and when we use the various types of cultivation technique as well as irrigation practices, the many of these plants natural characteristics were lost, and with careful attention from early farmer and the yields of this crop actually improve. Also the Neolithic farmer choose the cultivar that could preserve the seed for the maturity, and they also harvest harvest and store for a longer period of time. Coming to the next stage of animal domestication, the cattle, goat, sheep, pig, they were all actually domesticated in the fertile crescent region of the Near East region. The various types of factor like animal size, their temperament, food, mating habit, also the lifespan governed this domestication process. Also the food material was also considered as an important factor for domestication. Milk, which is a significant source of protein, was produced by the animals like cows and goats. Some animals also produce the other material like leather, wool, skin, fertilizer. They also the domesticated for their material. Coming to the technological achievement in the Neolithic revolution period, first coming to the agricultural achievement, in the Neolithic revolution period there was the development of tools for agricultural use, and the latter also tools for metal working technique was also evolved. After that there was the invention of wheel, and with the help of wheel the human can transport the large volume of food grain or other material from one place to another very easily, and with the help of this wheel the labor cost was actually reduced very significantly. As a result the time period also for any agricultural activity also reduced. Also there was the development of ground as well as polished stone tools, that is known as a celt. These stone tools are used for tillage also, or we can say for hunting purpose also. And lastly there was the emergence of pottery, and with the help of pottery the humans actually expressed their creative art forms. We all know that the cattle, goat, sheep, pigs, all they are originated in the fertile crescent region of the Near East, and also we knew that the various types of factors that govern the domestication process, and one such factor was the milk. So in the Near East region the pottery emerged after agriculture. Afterwards in the Japan pottery advanced significantly before the agriculture. Coming to the various types of ploughing technique, tools, method of seed selection, and also the irrigation system, they all are the few technical advancement that was developed in the Neolithic period, and which helped to transform the agriculture from the primitive one to modern era. Coming to the model of David Harris in the origin of agriculture. Actually the scientist David Harris gave a model through which we can know, or we can explain that how the agriculture was developed through the Neolithic period. So here in the first stage, the actually human gather and protect the beneficial plants and fruit which they found useful for their purpose, and after that they also burn the unwanted vegetation around that plant, and they also lessen the soil disturbance. Coming to the second stage, they actually went for cultivation of wild plant food with some plowing technique, and here those wild plant and foods are selected, those are having ideal trait and having high yielding capacity. Coming to the third stage, it is more here actually more intensive cultivation technique was followed. Here actually the ground was first cleared and the ground was first prepared through the tillage, and after that various food producing operation like planting, weeding, harvesting was carried out in the plowed field. So in this case you can say that the emergence of systematic tillage was the important invention in the third stage. Coming to the fourth stage, here actually the highly energy intensive technologies were used for agriculture, and one of the main feature of this period is the human were able to evolve the various types of new genotype that help the human to gain the more yield and profit. So today we have actually known the various types of agricultural development during the Neolithic revolution period. So in the next class we will also know about the British Revolution and how the agriculture was evolved in India as well as other parts of the world, and also through the help of Green Revolution how India has achieved its food security. So thank you dear learners, we will meet up in the next class.